So whenever it comes to mass surveillance, a lot of people automatically assume the CIA or the FBI, but it ain't neither one of those. Matter of fact, there's one that doesn't even get brought up that often, but everybody kind of knows them in the back of their mind, or at least they should, because they're definitely in everybody's pocket, and that would be the NSA. Now, to be fair to our all-seeing big brother government, if you ask them if they are spying on you, they will give you this answer right here.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Now, that old boy right there is James Clapper, and at the time that video was taken, he was the director of the NSA. Now, what's funny about that clip right there is while he's giving this statement under oath, Edward Snowden was collecting information to prove 3 months later that that guy was lying out his ass. Now, he did say something like, well, they might have unintentionally gathered a little bit of information.
Perhaps.
But according to the documents, they pretty much violated the constitutional rights of every single American citizen out there because they gathered data on everybody. It was projected to be at the time around 1 billion people. So, 1/8 of the population, that's not too bad. It's fine. Everything's fine. Now, if you're curious what happens to you, if you get caught lying under oath about violating people's constitutional rights to privacy, you have to say sorry. You gotta say sorry. And you better mean it. Yeah, no, I know. Pretty freaking serious if you ask me. But you know what else is pretty freaking serious? Is the fact that they didn't fire him and he worked there for another 3 years. But wait, there's more. After he decided to resign, he decided that he was going to join the Washington, D.C. based think tank, the Center for a New American Security. But not only that, in the same year, CNN hired him as a national security analyst. Like, this dude committed some of the biggest atrocities to the American people, violating their rights. What the whole thing is set up to not do, and he comes out even better off than when he went in. How crazy is that? I love it. Love it. Now, you may be asking, who's the National Security Agency and what makes them so freaking special? Well, what makes them special is they were created under the presidential directive of Harry Truman, and that in and of itself is the massive problem. Since they were not created by Congress, they act outside of Congress, and this is why they are the most secretive agency there is. There is nobody more secretive than the NSA, well, except for the ones that absolutely nobody knows about. And even whenever they were created, nobody was allowed to talk about them, and they were literally a ghost. Nobody knew they even existed. This is why they hold so much power, because they don't have a boss. They are the boss. They are the boss. Now, in the beginning, they just kind of dabbled in spying on Americans. They really didn't have the resources to go and spy on all the people that they wanted to spy on. It required physical freaking presence, and they just didn't have that many people. That was until the digital age, and more specifically, whenever the 9/11 attacks happened. Now, at this point, the government decided to enact the Patriot Act. I mean, they had the support of damn near every American. They all just watched planes crash into a building, so sure, they were willing to give up some freedoms for a little bit of security because they were scared shitless. Now, part of the deal with the Patriot Act is they were allowed to spy on the American people as long as they were trying to stop some sort of terrorist attack. And you might say, well, it seems like some sort of trade-off as long as they stopped some sort of terrorist and people didn't die from this. Well, maybe, except for the fact that even though they claimed they stopped over 50 different terrorist attacks, the president's own review board and the Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board said they stopped absolutely nothing. Nothing. And all this cost the American people was their constitutional right to freedom. No big deal. Now, don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. Eventually, the government told them they weren't allowed to do that no more. And the NSA said, okay, so hopefully that makes you feel a bit more safe. Anyways, I thought you all would find that pretty interesting. If you did, you could consider giving me a like for it, or maybe a follow or a share, whatever the buttons are. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Okay, bye. Oh, some bonus food for thought for you. They are presumed by many to have the ability to not only break into your phone and see all the data, but also override it till it gets so hot that it catches fire. Like, wouldn't that be a wild way to get rid of somebody in the middle of the night while they're sleeping? Like, just overheat their phone while it's charged. They wouldn't even know. It's poof, crazy. Okay, bye.